Back to Study with Shizuka. Today we will be studying about heart valves. So let's start learning. Heart valves. What are valves? So heart majorly consists 4 valves that ensure one-way blood flow. So our heart majorly contains 4 valves. 1, 2, 3 and 4. It majorly contains 4 valves that ensure unidirectional blood flow. So it prevents backflow or reverse flow of blood into the respective chambers. So it maintains the unidirectional flow. For example, blood from the pulmonary veins enters the left atrium, from left atrium to the left ventricle. Okay, so the valve which is present here, it maintains the unidirectional flow of blood and it prevents backflow of blood. Okay, so our heart contains 4 valves which ensures one-way blood flow. So there are majorly 2 types of valves present in our body, that are semilunar valves and atrioventricular valves. Okay, semilunar valves and atrioventricular valves. So what are semilunar valves? Semilunar valves are the valves which does not contain chordate tendinae or do not attach to the papillary muscles. Okay, so semilunar valves are present here. So these are the 2 semilunar valves. 1 and this one is the second one. Okay, so there are 2 semilunar valves which does not contain chordate tendinae or do not attach with the papillary muscles. Okay, semilunar valves. Atrioventricular valves. Atrioventricular valves are present in between the atria and ventricle. The valves which are present in between the atria and ventricle are called atrioventricular valves. Okay, so atrioventricular valves are attached with the chordate tendinae and papillary muscles. Okay, so left atrium and left ventricle is connected by the valve called mitral valve, and right atrium, right ventricle connected by a valve called tricuspid valve. Okay, so atrioventricular valves are mainly of 2 types, tricuspid valve and mitral valve. And semilunar valves majorly 2 types, pulmonary valve and aortic valve. Okay, this is a pulmonary valve. So pulmonary valve that is present nearer to the right ventricle and pulmonary artery. Okay, so this is the pulmonary artery and this is the right ventricle. So pulmonary valve is a semilunar valve. Semilunar means half moon shaped. Okay, then aortic valve. Aortic valve is present near to the left ventricle and the aorta. So this is called semilunar valve. Aortic valve and the pulmonary valve are the 2 types of semilunar valve. Tricuspid valve and the mitral valve are the 2 types of atrioventricular valve. Let's quickly move towards the mitral valve. It is also called as bicuspid valve since it contains 2 cusps. Okay, so it is present between the left atrium and left ventricle is called mitral valve. It contains 2 leaflet, 1, 2. It contains 2 leaflet that are anterior leaflet and posterior leaflet. Anterior leaflet A1, A2, A3. Posterior leaflet P1, P2, P3. Okay, it contains 2 cusps, 1, 2, hence it is called bicuspid. Okay, and it opens during diastole. Diastole means relaxation. Systole means contraction. So mitral valve opens during diastole and it closes during systole. Understood? Okay, it opens when the ventricles, so these are the ventricles will relax. It opens when ventricles relaxes and it closes when ventricle contracts. Understood? So what are the supportive structures present? Chordae tendineae, papillary muscles. Okay, so these are the chordae tendineae and papillary muscles. Okay, chordae tendineae and papillary muscles. There are two types of papillary muscles present in the mitral valve are anterolateral papillary muscles and posteromedial papillary muscles. Okay, and it contains two cusps, two leaflets, and all of these are attached to the mitral annulus. Okay, so the normal valve area is about 4 to 6 centimeters square. Hope you guys understood. Okay, so what is the function of mitral valve? It prevents backflow of blood from the left ventricle to the left atrium. Okay, it prevents backflow. Blood should not go back to the left atrium. So it prevents the backflow of blood from left ventricle to the left atrium. Hope you guys understood. Let's move towards the tricuspid valve. So tricuspid valve present in between the right atrium and right ventricle. Okay, so the valve which is present in between right atrium and right ventricle is called tricuspid valve. So it is called tricuspid because it contains 3 cusps and 3 leaflets. What are those? Anterior leaflet, septal leaflet and posterior leaflet. Okay, so it is tricuspid, anterior leaflet, posterior leaflet and septal leaflet. So it contains 3 leaflet and 3 cusps. Supportive structures. Same as mitral valve, it attached to the chordae tendineae papillary muscles. So the papillary muscles which are present in tricuspid valve is anterior papillary muscle, posterior papillary muscle and septal papillary muscle. Okay, so it's everything is connected to an annulus which is made up of fibrous tissue. So hence it is called fibrous annulus. Okay, so the normal valve area of tricuspid valve is 6 to 8 centimeters. Okay, so it opens during diastole and closes during systole. So both the atrioventricular valve open during diastole when ventricles are relaxed. Okay, so these both are open during diastole and closed during contraction, that is called systole. So atrioventricular valves are open during diastole. Okay, and close during systole. Understood? So the function of both atrioventricular valves is to prevent backflow of blood and maintain unidirectional blood flow. Okay, sorry for the mispronouncing. Okay, unidirectional blood flow. Tricuspid valve maintains blood from the right atrium to the right ventricle, unidirectional blood flow, and it prevents backflow of blood. Okay, and same mitral valve maintains blood from left atrium to left ventricle, unidirectional blood flow, and also prevents backflow of blood. Okay, so we finished about atrioventricular valves. Okay, thanks for watching. For more detailed videos, stay connected with me. If you love the video, don't forget to subscribe. If you want notes copy of this lecture, please visit Instagram at Study with Shizika. Thanks for watching.